The 2020 U.S. presidential election ignited a firestorm of controversy. Allegations of election fraud were widespread. Amidst this tumultuous backdrop, the Brunson case emerged. Raland Brunson, along with his brothers Loy and Deron, filed a lawsuit. Their target, 388 federal officials, including President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Their accusation: these officials failed to investigate the alleged election fraud. This failure, they argued, constituted a breach of their constitutional oaths. The Brunson case was about more than just the 2020 election. It raised fundamental questions about accountability, election integrity, and the very foundation of American democracy. The Brunsons sought to hold those in power accountable. They aimed to expose what they believed were serious breaches of public trust. The case quickly gained notoriety. Supporters lauded the Brunsons as patriots, courageous defenders of the Constitution. Critics dismissed the case as frivolous, rooted in conspiracy theories. Regardless of which side one stood on, the Brunson case was undeniably significant. It ignited a national conversation about the principles upon which the United States was founded. The Brunsons' legal journey began in 2021. They filed lawsuits in lower courts. They alleged that the defendants, by failing to investigate the election fraud claims, had neglected their constitutional duties. This negligence, they argued, had far-reaching consequences. It undermined the integrity of the electoral process and eroded public trust in government. The Brunsons' initial efforts met with roadblocks. Their lawsuits were dismissed by lower courts. The judges cited various reasons for their decisions. Some questioned the Brunsons' legal standing, others found their arguments unconvincing. The dismissals were a significant setback for the Brunsons, but they did not deter them. They remained resolute in their belief that they had a strong case. They vowed to continue their fight. The early dismissals highlighted the uphill battle the Brunsons faced. The legal system, with its complex rules and procedures, can be daunting. Yet, the Brunsons pressed on. They saw their case as a matter of principle. They were determined to have their day in court. The dismissals also underscored the deep divisions within American society. Supporters viewed the dismissals as evidence of a rigged system. Opponents saw the dismissals as vindication, arguing that the Brunsons' claims were baseless. Undeterred by the lower court dismissals, the Brunsons set their sights on the Supreme Court. They filed petitions, urging the court to hear their case. Their arguments were impassioned, framing their case as a matter of national importance. They argued that the court had a duty to intervene. They claimed that the lower courts had erred in dismissing their claims. The Supreme Court, however, declined to hear the case. The court's decision was a major blow to the Brunsons' legal efforts. It effectively closed the door on their attempts to have their claims heard by the highest court. The court's decision was met with mixed reactions. Supporters of the Brunsons expressed disappointment and frustration. Critics applauded the decision, arguing that the court had made the right call in rejecting a frivolous case. The Supreme Court's rejection was not entirely unexpected. The court receives thousands of petitions each year, and only agrees to hear a small fraction. Despite the setback, the Brunsons refused to give up. They continued to explore their legal options. They filed new lawsuits and sought to raise awareness about their case. Their persistence was remarkable. It demonstrated their unwavering belief in their cause. The Supreme Court's rejection did not deter the Brunson brothers. They remained steadfast in their pursuit of justice. Their legal odyssey continued, marked by a series of filings and appeals. They sought reconsideration of the Supreme Court's decision, highlighting what they believed were misinterpretations of their arguments. Their efforts, though ultimately unsuccessful, showcased their unwavering commitment to their cause. Despite the mounting legal setbacks, the Brunsons refused to be silenced. They recognized that their legal battle had become symbolic, representing a broader struggle against what they perceived as corruption and overreach within the government. Their unwavering belief in their cause fueled a narrative of David versus Goliath. At its core, the Brunson case hinged on a pivotal argument: the alleged breach of constitutional oaths by hundreds of federal officials. The Brunsons contended that by failing to investigate claims of election fraud, these officials had violated their sworn duty to uphold the Constitution. This alleged breach, they argued, struck at the heart of American democracy. The Brunsons' arguments centered on accountability as a cornerstone of a functioning democracy. They maintained that elected officials are not above the law. Their failure to investigate serious allegations of election irregularities, the Brunsons asserted, constituted a dereliction of duty. Central to the Brunson case was the issue of election integrity. The Brunsons argued that even the mere appearance of impropriety in elections could have a corrosive effect on public trust. By failing to thoroughly investigate the claims of fraud, they argued, the government had created an environment of suspicion and distrust. The Brunson case, though unsuccessful in court, raised important questions about the potential precedent it could set for future legal challenges. The case garnered significant public attention, becoming a rallying cry for those who shared their concerns about election integrity and government accountability. The case became a symbol of a broader societal divide, reflecting deep-seated anxieties about the future of American democracy. The Brunson case ignited a firestorm of public discourse, reflecting and amplifying the deep political polarization in the United States. Supporters, many of whom already harbored doubts about the legitimacy of the 2020 election, rallied behind the Brunsons. Conservative media outlets framed it as a David versus Goliath struggle. This narrative resonated with audiences who felt increasingly alienated from the political process. Conversely, critics of the Brunson case dismissed it as a frivolous lawsuit rooted in conspiracy theories. They argued that the case lacked legal merit and was part of a broader effort to undermine faith in American democracy. The Brunson case became a lightning rod for broader debates about election integrity and the role of the judiciary. Supporters saw the case as a vital step in restoring faith in elections. Critics countered that such investigations risked further eroding trust in democratic institutions. The Brunson case highlighted the increasing politicization of the judiciary. As the case moved through the courts, accusations of bias and partisanship flew from both sides. Despite its ultimate lack of success in the courts, the Brunson case left an indelible mark on the American political landscape. It served as a catalyst for ongoing debates about election integrity, government accountability, and the very nature of democracy. The Brunson case became a touchstone issue, a symbol of a nation grappling with fundamental questions about its identity and values. It reflected a growing sense of distrust in institutions. This sentiment, fueled by political polarization and misinformation, found a voice in the Brunson case. The case underscored the importance of civic engagement and the rule of law in a functioning democracy. The Brunsons, despite facing an uphill battle, utilized the legal system to seek redress for what they perceived as a grave injustice. Their actions served as a reminder that citizens have a right and a responsibility to hold their elected officials accountable. The Brunson case, though now relegated to legal history, continued to spark debate and reflection. The Brunson case, though ultimately unsuccessful in the courts, left an enduring legacy on the American political landscape. It served as a stark reminder of the deep divisions within the United States and the fragility of democratic institutions. The Brunsons, through their unwavering pursuit of justice, ignited a national conversation about election integrity, government accountability, and the very nature of democracy. The Brunson case underscored the importance of a shared commitment to the rule of law, even in the face of deep political disagreement. It highlighted the essential role of the judiciary as a neutral arbiter of disputes. In the aftermath of the Brunson case, it is imperative that Americans engage in thoughtful and respectful dialogue about the issues that divide them. The case serves as a stark reminder that democracy requires active participation, critical thinking, and a willingness to engage with differing viewpoints. The legacy of the Brunson case lies in its capacity to inspire reflection, dialogue, and a renewed dedication to the ideals upon which the United States was founded. Don't miss the bus and subscribe.